People say this about women all the time, so I can say this about a man. He's nothing but a pretty face.
Don't this hit make my people wanna jump? Don't this hit make my people wanna jump? Don't this hit make my people wanna jump?
Watch the series finale of X-Men next Saturday morning. Check your local listings.
And the Disney stock just keeps going down and down and down. And then Bob Iger is all like,
Life could be worse. This is the worst. This is the worst. This is the worst. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm bag of pixie dust. Contraband.
They're going to do the Mary Poppins thing. They're going to do it. They're going to do it.
oh, bitch, you killed Kenny.
Kenny.
You fat hoe.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Reina Creole, and my microphone got away from me. Welcome to my channel, and welcome to the Spice Lounge, where you are going to hear hot takes, spicy conversation. We just let it all flow with respect to our commentary on pop culture, and I've got my panel with me, my folks with me. They'll drop in and out as they allow. And we have special guests who I'm so excited to have here on the channel. And that is Marvin, the movie monster. So we've got our hot topics to go through to keep you informed on the quickness. And we have our main topics, number one being so that Inside Out 2 movie. Did Pixar manage to redeem themselves? And as a consequence, are they going to save Disney? We'll talk about that. We will also talk about House of the Dragon Season 2 roaring in to some very, very, very nice ratings. And if we have time and if we feel like it, we'll talk about that episode 4 of The Acolyte, that hot garbage, which has basically made me decide that I'm not going to be reviewing that show outside of a footnote in the Spice Lounge if I feel like it. So coming back, and I'm so glad he's back, we have Culture Casino. How are you doing, my dear?
I almost have health, so I'm glad to be back. I'm very excited to be here. And, I'd rather talk about Hot D than about,
Hot P.
Yeah. But look, I mean, you've got some good hot topics today. I'm very excited to be here. I'm also excited for your other guest because, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, he is. He's so cool. He's so cool. He reminds me of somebody I went to high school with, and he was absolutely freaking hilarious. So for folks who you don't know, introduce to some, reintroduce for others, we have got Marvin, the movie monster of Tooneytown TV and Tooneytown Wrestling. How are you, my dear? And welcome.
Hey, guys. I'm excited. Who's this cool guest that you guys got?
That's you, dude.
That's you, dude.
Sorry, I'm not accustomed to being called cool. It's going to take some getting used to. Dear 12-year-old Marvin, it gets better.
Oh, well, glad you're here, my dear. I
so
love
glad to be
hanging
here.
out with you on that Park Place.
I was so thrilled to get the invite to come here today. I absolutely love hanging out with you guys, both of you, and this is going to be so much fun.
Oh, yes, it is. I'm so looking forward to it. So freaking looking forward to it. And before I kick the show off, and this is kind of funny because I probably should have put this on to begin with. I'm sorry. Hello, Kitty. I'm really sorry. But look what I got from Universal yesterday.
Oh, very nice. So they're rolling out all the Mario merch now.
Yeah, that looks very appropriate. Are you going to wear that day one?
Oh, heck yeah.
I figured. You go when you go to these things, so I can't wait to see. I cannot wait to see.
Oh my gosh. I was over at the preview center yesterday. Lost one of my earbuds here. And just looking at how many people were having fun, like trying on the Mario and Luigi. Oh, it's got little earrings on it too. The Mario and Luigi hats and just all of that. I cannot wait for Super Mario World to get here. I just cannot freaking wait. But dang. Oh yeah,
It's
this
super
is
cute
selling.
already. Yep.
This
super,
is selling.
yeah,
This
super
is so
cute.
selling. So selling. I freaking like it. So yeah, that's gonna go on Orangeburg. That's gonna be his new swag to wear for a while. Hey, Mark Daly says
Oh.
Queen of Florida finally gets her crown.
There you go.
Oh, the orange bird. How overrated he is.
And she's an absolute peach.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Hey. Watch out.
Oh, well, let's see here, folks. I want to say hi to you folks getting in here. 25 of you guys in here so far. First of all, thank you. Daggone it. I think I'm going to need new earbuds. Thanks for subscribing, Harry Isaac, excuse me. So glad that you're subscribed to the channel, folks. You guys are making me rocket past 8,000, and I love it. I think I'm up to 8,000. I think almost 8,300. Y'all are amazing. Oh my
That's
God.
awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Very well deserved.
Yeah. Thanks. Well, remember, Saturday is the 8 p.m. Excuse me. Oh my God, I need to get together. 8K celebration, kicking it off Star Trek style. So hopefully you guys can pop in for a little bit on the stream. Gonna have fun kind of going back through memory lane a little bit about meeting some of those amazing Star Trek actors. And
but yeah, you know what? I wasn't sure if I could make it a knot for that at first, but then I was like, Reina Creole needs me. I'm clearing my schedule. It's time to we have to celebrate. So
thank
I
you.
will be there.
Thank you, man. I can't wait to hang out with you guys. It's gonna be awesome again. Let's see. We've got Mark Daly here. We have got OCDD here. I see you. We've got Northman JH who says good evening. We have got RC in the chat. Says hi, everybody. Let's see. Charles is here. Says, hey, folks. We've got Guy Scar and the Bosco scenario hanging out with us. We have got Equus Hart who says, yo. Well, hello, yo, and good to see you. Oh, that's almost being a little too polite, saying it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
It's a downright floating garbage fire. I don't know. You probably have you guys have a better description. I'm open.
It is drivel that fails on every conceivable level.
I think that was I think that was kind. I'm
trying to be a softer monster, like a little bit nicer in my daily life. That's going to last for the next 10 minutes probably.
Okay, all right, fair enough. But Acolyte's been very disappointing. That's the nice way for me to say this is hot garbage. This is the stuff. This is the public restroom that you walk by and realize that you don't have to go that bad.
Yes. What a perfect way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I don't really
It's like
have to go that bad.
It's like that first restroom when you walk into Magic Kingdom right there on Main Street, like right off to the left by City Hall. Like you walk in there and you're like, I can hold it till I get to Rapunzel.
Yeah. Or Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
The ones where, you smell it before you get to it. So
we've all got those theme park restrooms that that's the one. Like you're waiting for that one. No matter where you are.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Chef Nation. He says, good afternoon, beautiful people. Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Man, I'd rather be waterboarded than watch The Acolyte. That should tell you how much I just freaking cannot stand it. And I've got a real spicy take out on Twitter X. You can quote me on that one with respect to the show.
Oh,
You have
man.
my permission. Go forth and spread it far and freaking wide because it fits. It so fits. Yeah, I heard about Willie Mays. That's so sad. He's such a legend. My dad was into baseball. I really wasn't, but Willie Mays was one of those greats that, you at least knew who he was. So yeah.
I
So sad.
I have never been into baseball personally. However, I come from a family that eats, sleeps, breathes, and exists in the baseball sphere. So yeah, my family has been mourning the passing of one of the greats.
Yeah. Awesome guy. R.I.P. Willie Mays for sure. CJ says, what did I do? For those of you who've been complimenting me about my thumbnails, CJ, he's my thumbnail guy. He's my graphic artist. So he comes up with these great concepts that I absolutely love. So make sure you give him a follow over on Twitter. And of course, go to his YouTube channel. Check it out. I think you still got stuff going on there. Let's see, Kojo Dragon. Oh, you guys like my crown. You know what? Next time I have a gaming stream, I'll have to put that on. You know what? I really am going to have to wear that one when I play Mario Kart for real, just to be funny. The power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
I put a spell on you, and now you're gone. There's singing witch. If we're going singing witches, that's the one I go to.
Oh yeah, you got to do the hocus pocus thing. You have to do that.
Thing.
Yes. I smell children.
I made that joke in my review. The Jedi Master Trinity is all like, I smell children.
True story. My sister said when she comes to visit me, I and my daughter, we're going to go as like the Sanderson sisters and just do the whole walk down Main Street like the Sanderson sisters, just to be funny. Because we do stuff like that. Oh, Jeremiah Waxwell, I do not blame you. It should not be watched by anyone. And I don't mean in the facetious speak like they do on South Park. They do it kind of like wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Shouldn't be watched by anyone. No, Acolyte should not be watched by anybody. Literally. Nobody. Nobody. What so freaking ever. Hey, Ron, good to see you. Good to see you. I'm not sure which conversation I came into. Well, this is the Spice Lounge, where you go to someone's house, you get invited to a party, and you walk in the door and you hit the tail end of a conversation that says something like, and that's how I found out that there's actually a brig on a cruise ship. And like, what did I
They actually do have a little jail.
Let's see. Danny V says, greetings from SoCal. I watched the first 2 eps, garbage, effing trash. I'm not wasting my time with the rest of the episodes. Yeah, you're better off. You're totally better off, dude.
There are better things to do with your time. You can trim your nails. You can clean up your cuticles. You can buff your nails. You can organize your sock drawer. Much better things than the Acolyte.
Much better things. As a matter of fact, I think you should probably watch this.
This is where we used to live.
Aww.
Why did you keep the mousetrap? Why did you keep these things used to be mine? I guess they're still, I want them back.
I feel so bad.
I love this.
Broke into the old apartment. 42 stairs from the street.
And yes, I'm probably gonna have to share revenue with Bare Naked Ladies, but thank you guys anyway. but
That's right.
still,
Oh, that's so funny.
I freaking
Oh,
love
no.
this.
You know, when I saw
Uh,
that,
least-
that float by my timeline the other day, I was like, that was creative as heck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I'm kicking myself for not thinking of it.
It is so freaking funny. And I dropped it in my video, and people were like, that is so cool. That's so cool. That was such a good idea. I'm like, I can't claim it. It's from TikTok. That's why I have it on there. I can't claim it. But you know what? We were all freaking feeling this. Feeling this for sure. Yeah, I love it. The Revenge of Burr Rabbit is still going on. Trust me. I wonder if Tiana's Bayou Adventure is going to be up tomorrow.
Were the previews today? Because yesterday was a disaster, which I'm sure we'll get to.
They didn't happen today.
Today was a very special day.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a date Iger said they had to have this thing up and running by.
Why?
Oh, yeah, and it didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
But why?
Well, but why? Well, here's why. And you probably know this culture, but usually you will have some C-suite level idiot who will say, oh, yeah, of course, we can get it to you by then. Yeah, no problem. No problem. And then they tell engineering. And then I'm in the conversation like, you said when? Okay, so what are you comfortable living without? And that's what you're going to get. Oh, but we
in this
want
case,
that.
it would be water and function and overall functionality.
Yeah. Or my favorite, okay, quick, good, and I think it was like fast, easy, fast, quick, fast, cheap, or easy. You can only have two of those out of three.
Mm-hmm.
And no, fast, cheap, and good. Excuse me.
Yes,
fast, cheap, and good. Yep. You can only get two of those.
I tried to explain that concept to somebody that I used to that was a client of mine a long time ago, and they could not wrap their heads around the fact that I couldn't give them something fast, cheap, and easy.
Ooh. Well, I mean, you know, there are still street corners in Louisiana.
Or fast, cheap, and good.
You know.
Yeah, it's true.
Sorry.
I just love
down the right corner.
That's funny. That's funny. I just love to see the twisting in the wind when I just give them the look like, yep, no, that's all. That's all you get. That's all you get. No. Well, we need it by this date. Can't give it to you by this date. Well, we need it by this date. Okay, well, decide what you can't live without. And when they changed their mind and said, well, we're going, okay, I want to go on record as saying, if you make me right and this blows up on impact, don't come and find me. Sure enough, appointment happens. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I'm busy. What did I tell you? It wasn't going to work. So are we still talking about where to be at Disney?
Well, I mean, look, the swamp doesn't smell as bad as I expected, but there are some unpleasant aromas at Disney.
Quite a few of them as of late.
Yeah, and a lot more than I remember. Actually, it's just like, wow. When Florida water smells better, you know, when a canned hot fart smells better.
The parks used to be a multi-sensory experience that was just so pleasant on every level. Everything you heard, everything you saw, everything you smelled, it was all just like so carefully constructed. And now it's, you know, like I said to Pro, they've replaced Imagineers with Meh-gineers.
Yeah, meh. It looks good enough. It looks all right. That's okay. And you know, it kind of looks like the picture. People pay to go anyway. It's just to go from something like that. And yes, I'm going to rant a little bit because I was out at Universal yesterday. And then you walk into King's Cross Station in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And it looks like the actual King's Cross Station in London, which I've been to. And it's just like,
I have never been enamored with the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, especially like the Diagon Alley portion of it. I think they made everything way too small. Like I get it, like they're supposed to be like quaint little homey shops because that's how it was in the movie. Well, that doesn't work in the middle of July in Orlando, in one of the hottest, but I will say the attention to detail was very what I used to consider Disney like. And now it seems like Universal has got that attention to detail and Disney doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah. That model for Epic Universe, that's all I'm going to say. It is goodness. It has and I'm not being facetious, but it's true. It has an autistic level of detail and it is freaking gorgeous. Absolutely freaking gorgeous.
I can't wait.
Why today? It's originally a Texas holiday. Yes, because it is Juneteenth. Yes, it is Juneteenth. And
Lorraine,
Ron says they're worse than May.
How is the Black community dealing with this latest blow that Tiana's Bayou Adventure has not opened in time for Juneteenth?
Oh, I don't know. There's all kinds of factions. There's the faction who's just like, yes, isn't it great that we have it? And the other 80, well, we'll say 95% of us are like, are you freaking crazy? That's what's going on for the most part. Yeah, you give us a ride that doesn't work. Way to represent for us, Disney. I'm just saying.
And with we at least we got rid of all those problematic elements and all of those allusions to slavery.
The singing animals.
In the original ride, right? We had to get rid of all that, right? Not replace it with more overt allusions to such things.
Trying to find a happy place is a real problem in the neo-Marxist globalist world. But hey, we're going to give you a salt mine to work in.
Yeah, we're going to bring up a salt mine. Instead of having an attraction based on these characters, based on stories that have been passed down as an oral tradition for, I don't know how long, an attraction that was based on the one Burr Rabbit story that, my grandmother told me over and over again that got my father in trouble for telling in school in Mississippi. And every time I ride that attraction, now that when I used to, now my grandmother, that she's been gone for quite some time, to go through that attraction and hear her voice telling me the story. And I see the animals and you see Burr Rabbit hopping, along where your boat's going along. And you're just like, ooh, he's going to get in trouble. Yeah, that's just not freaking cool.
I bet.
Cool. Yes, originally known as Emancipation Day, where slaves in Galveston, Texas found out they were free. Disney doing their research yet again. Well, they just kind of want to say like they did something. That's pretty much what just like what it is. They don't really grasp exactly what it is, because if they did, they would actually pay it the respect that it's due, instead of, I don't know, like an esoteric holiday like Kwanzaa. It's like I tell people, with Juneteenth, regardless, I mean, I don't feel it should be a federal holiday, but it is now, so it's neither here nor there. It's a great way to remember the price that this country paid in blood and treasure to right a very, very despicable wrong. And that we did that in this country. So proud of that.
Well
yeah,
said.
They don't really want to do that. Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Go ahead, my dear.
No, I was saying well said.
Oh, thank you. It's like, folks, just deal with, with the history. And if you really want to know the true history of Juneteenth, go and pick up a copy of the WPA Slave Diaries for that particular state. I read the ones for Florida and I've read the ones for Mississippi. Read those. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Literally. That's all you got to do. What's worth, Tiana's or Acolyte for Disney? Just curious. Do you want to it's kind of like saying, would you rather ingest poison or get hit by a car?
I mean, look, there's so much bad going on right now for that company. I would say the Acolyte is probably the worst thing for them right now because Star Wars was the evergreen property to end all evergreen properties. It was, and they have been, systematically killing it for a decade now. And this was, and I called this from before the show even released. I said, this is going to be every time I heard them talk about the show, from the minute they started talking at Star Wars Celebration, when Mama Yass was all like, my character is a strong leader, and there are no strong female leaders in patriarchal Star Wars. I was like, this is the death blow. This is it. This is the thing. This is the point. It's the windmill. It's the point of no return. It is the place where Star Wars fully goes under the water and we can never raise it back up.
I know. I mean, at least with Tiana, Tiana's Bio Adventure, we get some real cool memes like this here.
This is pathetic.
Wow.
Oh no.
That was a green screen.
Wow.
You gotta love Lester's.
Oh, that's my favorite. I hadn't seen that one before. Oh, that's so good.
It's
Wow.
yeah. I'm like,
mean,
it's
look,
so good.
I used to describe Splash before it went down as Lester's Possum Park because they had let it fall into such disrepair from the minute they announced that it was going away. They never fixed anything. And but now, I mean, oh my god, that's so funny. Though I think those animatronics at Lester's Possum Park have some more range of motion than the vast majority of the supposed 48 different animatronics that they have in there.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that one.
That's a good point from Mark Daly. That is a decent point. The parks are keeping the company afloat, and sinking them sinks everything.
Movie sides already dead. Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. Man, I freaking love this. Now, every time I see this clip, I think about Tiana's Bayou Adventure and all of those people who wanted to still go to the cupcake parties and everything, just cheering that hotness on. So, Bird Rabbit still getting his revenge on. So,
gotta get that backpack.
Yep. Backpack. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's something that someone's got to make.
DOD has Magic Kingdom booked out Friday night. Wonder if Tiana will be part of it. I don't know. Supposedly you weren't able to get a reservation for the Magic Kingdom for tomorrow, but guess what? I managed to get one. So we're gonna see what happens with that. 36 of you folks in here watching, thank you so very much. And I'm actually going to go back to that reference a little bit later on in the show. So let's get on with our hot topics here. These are the topics that are hot off the presses, so the panel and I can discuss. Coming to us from Variety, Spaceballs sequel in development at Amazon MGM with Josh Gad starring and Mel Brooks producing. I just want to ask a question. Have any of you seen History of the World Part 2?
I have not. I don't know if Culture has, but I have not.
History of the World?
Part 2.
I saw the first film.
Okay, this kind of proves my point because I saw History of the World Part 1. It was funny as hell because it's Mel Brooks.
Oh,
History of the World Part 2 was on Hulu. No, I did not see that.
I knew there was an Abomination, but I did not watch it.
Yes, that was it. So apparently that one didn't even look so great. So now they've got this one, a sequel that no one asked for, starring an actor who seems to have diarrhea of the mouth
Ugh, he's the
when
worst.
virtue signaling.
He is just a despicable clown. I cannot handle him at all. I used to like it back when Book of Mormon first came out. Like, I loved that show. I thought he was great in it. But then once he became Olaf, he became one of the Hollywood elite. And it's it's the same thing that happens with all of them, because a new actor will pop up on the scene. You'll be like, oh, they're so relatable. They seem so down to earth. What's her face? The Hunger Games girl. She was the prime example of this. You're like, oh, she can fall. She fell down going to get her Oscar. Isn't she so cute and likable? And then all of a sudden she's like, Katniss Everdeen was the first ever female action star, and they become assimilated into the program. It's the Hollywood is the Borg. I'm trying to remember her name.
Oh yeah,
can't remember.
Yeah, see, this proves my point exactly.
Jennifer Lawrence, that was it.
You trust me? Yeah, they made one, and let's put it this way. What's her name? Is it No, it's not Jennifer Lewis. It's oh my gosh, I'm blanking on who the other loudmouth. Wanda Sykes. Okay, Wanda Sykes is in it. So I'll show you. Yes, this is History of the World Part 2. Okay, it's freaking awful. I'm like, there's no way that
Keenan.
you can do. Yeah, there's just no way you can do with that now the way that you could back then.
Because comedy has been outlawed.
Yeah. And too many people think that they have the right to not be offended. And it's just like, comedy is not supposed to be safe. Everybody is supposed to, well, no one is supposed to be safe when it comes to comedy, which is why it's so funny. But this, no.
I can't imagine it being good. I just can't.
And that was my first reaction when I saw this announced on Twitter. I'm like, Josh Gad is in it. I had the benefit of the doubt until I saw Josh Gad was going to be in it.
Well,
so
they needed a token fat guy.
They
should have just hired me.
I was going to say Jack Black, but
no, man.
Well, Jack Black is the old Josh Gad. They're like slowly phasing one out for the other one.
Yeah.
But Jack Black still has moments where you're like, oh, he's still kind of funny.
Yeah, where you're kind of like, okay, yeah, he's cool. He's cool.
Was there anything more painful than last fall during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? Josh Gad and the other guy from Book of Mormon, they're doing like their 2-man show on Broadway. They were going around doing these painfully unfunny skits with everybody. Oh, yes. It was so bad. It was so bad.
It was just freaking awful. Dude, I can't stand Josh Gad so much that when I played Disney Dreamlight Valley, and you guys know, I hardly ever hang out with Olaf, like ever, because I can't stand Josh Gad's voice.
Ugh.
But to catch you guys up here, Spaceballs sequel is in development at Amazon MGM Studios. Josh Gad is set to star and will produce alongside Mel Brooks. Josh Greenbaum would direct the film from a screenplay by Benji Submit. Dan Hernandez, oh God, Josh Gad actually helped write this? All right. Well, Kevin Salter will executive produce. The project is in early stages. Plot details are being kept under wraps. Amazon declined to comment. So apparently this writing duo did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, Pokemon Detective Pikachu. I actually like that. Addams Family 2. I like that one.
Wait, Addams Family 2 is in Addams Family Values, or like the animated Addams Family?
Oh, shoot. I didn't even ask. I didn't even think about that.
If it's Addams Family 2, then it's probably not Addams Family Values, because I just didn't realize that the animated one got 2 movies.
Now that I didn't know. Addams Family 2. Let me look this up. Oh, yeah, that's the animated one. Yeah, I skipped that one. Okay, never mind. I did like Detective Pikachu, but yeah, no. That Addams Family Values was freaking hysterical. I loved that one, but yeah. So let's see. And the upcoming here we go. Upcoming Disney Plus Lucasfilm special Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. So that's who's going to be involved in this Spaceballs sequel. It says it's in development. I hope this thing does not see the light of day.
Yeah, this
I
needs
really hope this dies. Yeah,
this needs to find a special place in development hell. Very quickly.
The circular file.
Sure. Yes, the burning circular file that's setting off the smoke alarm in the fire sprinkler system in the building.
Yeah, kind of like that dry palm frond at the Tiki Room fell and fell on one of the flame things.
Did the Tiki gods work for it?
Yeah, they did. I'm hoping that they do because I mean, I know I say this a lot, and you guys say this a lot on your channels, but we're tired of the reboots, and we're tired of the sequels to stuff that no one asked for.
Well, and you know what? I'm sure we'll talk later about Inside Out 2 and the lessons that can be learned from its success. And you just know that the wrong lesson is going to be learned. And the lesson they're going to take away from it is that, people want sequels. They want more sequels. They want more established IPs. Clearly, things like Strange Worlds and Wish failed because people don't want new IPs. That's what it is. Like, and that is 100% the message that Hollywood will take away from that, to avoid at any cost looking at the reality of everything.
Yeah, because what I've known from my 5-year prison sentence living in Los Angeles, especially the Hollywood bubble, is just how freaking insulated they are. Flyover country doesn't matter. What matters is what we want to do and what our sycophants keep telling us that we need to do, which is why a lot of the smart actors and producers don't live in Hollywood. They're just like, nah, we're leaving.
That makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't want to live in Hollywood.
Oh my gosh. What is that word? What would I call it? I can't think of a place that's like worse. Escape from LA looks like a cakewalk compared to what Los Angeles really is. It's a crap hole. Okay.
You know what? A guy that I'm friends with on Twitter X, he lives in California and he's a small business owner in California. So you can imagine how great he's doing.
Oh my goodness.
He sent me a bunch of pictures from California. It's just nonstop tent city everywhere you look, just homeless people everywhere. I mean, it's insane. Just absolutely insane. And the way they charge those poor people that live there through the nose and have made it just unlivable to anyone else. It's unbelievable what they've done to that state.
It used to be the high cost of low living. Now it's the high cost of no living. And
listen,
I always wanted to live in LA as a kid.
Yeah, I'm from the Northeast, so I know what it's like to. If you can't tell from my voice, I know what it's like to live in an area that's not very affordable. But I mean, compared to California, my God.
Man, I said, my parents came to visit me and they were like, how much for a carton of eggs? I'm like, yeah, don't. I used to go to Whole Foods in Encino, not because I wanted really to go to Whole Foods to be fancy, but because that's where the cheapest eggs were actually, believe it or not.
Good Lord.
But yeah, that state has just gone down the tubes. I mean, Venice Beach, you had your crazy people, but they were kind of like the one-offs, as opposed to the tent city. We could talk about this for the longest time, but yeah, it's nowhere near like what it freaking used to be. It's just gone to hell in a handbasket. Next one, and I'm actually pretty excited about this. I mean, I talk about sequels and everything, but Naomi Scott, Lucas Gage Face the Terror in Smile 2 trailer. Have you gentlemen seen the Smile movie?
Yes, I did. It was one of the ones. Again, I like horror movies, so it's pretty easy for me to watch stuff like this. I thought it was fascinating. You're saying there's a follow up?
There is. There
Ooh.
is. I loved the Smile movie. I did a live watch party with watching this. The Smile movie scared. I'm pretty hard to scare, but I had so many jump scares watching Smile, and I loved the storyline that they came up with. So it was so scary. I watched it 3 times, but I loved it. But yes, the trailer, you've got to check out. You've got to check out the trailer. Oh my gosh. So apparently the same guy who wrote Smile and it was based on a short film that he did. So now we have Smile 2 that is coming. So audiences are getting ready to turn their frowns upside down once again with the teaser for Smile 2 from Paramount Pictures. Director Parker Finn's follow-up to his surprise 2022 horror hit is set to debut October 18th.
Perfect
I
timing.
can't wait for this. Cannot wait for this.
Perfect
The
timing.
sequel sees Kyle Gallner return as Joel, so you'll see him alongside cast newcomers Naomi Scott, Lucas Gage, and Rosemarie DeWitt. And let's see. Let me see if I can. I'm not going to play a whole lot of it.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
That's all. That whole trailer could have just been that, and I would have been like, "All right, I'm interested."
It's so I loved it. I loved it. It was so freaking creepy. So yeah, the 18th it's coming out, and it's based, I guess this not guess, but this chick, she's kind of like a Lady Gaga type of performer. And as you know, in the Smile movies, if you witness that person basically yeeting themselves, when you see a creepy smile and they're about to yeet themselves, if you witness that curse gets passed on to you until you wind up yeeting yourself and somebody has to witness that. So the person who witnessed it is actually a pop star who does. And yes, yes, exact. It's him. It's him. So he's the one. We're not going to say how, but yes, it is him. So he's in the trailer, and it's not scary. It's creepy for me.
It's creepy, yeah, and it's good. It's very psychological. Of course, it involves a psychiatrist. And Sosie Bacon is Kevin Bacon's daughter, and she's awesome. So yeah.
Nice. Oh God, I loved it. I loved it. Have to watch this now. Yes, you do. Can't do it. That's okay. It's not for everybody, but like Culture was saying, for me, I love psychological horror. Yeah. Like Psycho was my gateway drug to psychological horror, and that's, I mean, I can stab a zombie. That doesn't bother me, but you do the psychological crap is what I'm seeing, what's really going on. That freaking scares me. Kiss My Grits for $9.99. Thank you so much for that super chat, my dear. Thank you. Give Mel Brooks his creative freedom, and he'd build a small-scale version of Galaxy's Edge as a setting for Spaceballs 2 and mock Disney's destruction of Star Wars, but modern Hollywood are cowards.
Oh yeah, they'll never let it. I've been wondering if Deadpool is going to make any jokes in the new movie about like the MCU or like the way they've been killing, Marvel, but there's no way. They do not have a sense of humor about themselves.
They already. Oh, go ahead, Culture.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say in the Deadpool trailer, you already see Mickey's glove grabbing Deadpool's ass.
Yeah. Well, I can't even begin to tell you how much I'm going to despise all of this stuff, and I'm very worried that Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be lackluster. I'm just worried about it because it's a cameo fest now that just continues to snowball.
You know we're gonna get Lady Deadpool at some point during it, right?
Yeah, you know that's coming. I mean, they got
That's gotta
dog
happen.
pool.
Well,
so
we're gonna
I
get
mean,
we're gonna get dumb, freaking, stupid female Loki probably too. Yeah.
oh God.
Oh no, her.
If
Oh.
that happened,
Well, anyway, Smile is a fun film. There are several films that came out. You remember the Smile came out with near the Black Phone, which was great.
yes, the
Yeah.
Black Phone is another one, and that's I would say that is in the realm of what we call PG-13 horror, where it's not graphic, but it is a thriller. So the Black Phone is like that. Why am I blanking on the other one? Night Swim is also like that. It's not
Yeah.
as good as the Black Phone, but it's an okay watch. Imaginary, same thing, where they're dealing with that terror as a kid. So they're actually doing pretty good. Blumhouse has been knocking it out of the park, but the Black Phone definitely.
Yeah, it will get your attention, and it has Ethan Hawke in it as the grabber.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the crap!
It was
No,
so
see,
good.
you know what? I've never seen these movies, but I have been through the Halloween Horror Nights houses, like with the grabber and all that. We only did that one time because it was so terrifying. That one, like 2 years ago, where you went through like two houses one after the other for Blumhouse. It was ridiculously terrifying.
I missed that one. And I don't think it was, maybe it was Blumhouse. I don't think it was, but oh my gosh. The Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah.
That haunted house, people were coming out of that one shaking and crying, and I came out of that one and I needed some time.
I love Horror Nights. So what I always get the frequent fear pass so I can go multiple times and when
Yeah,
I'm going down to
same.
Orlando. And man, oh man, we might need to do a special cross channel trip to Halloween Horror Nights this year.
I think we should, because I love going, and eventually they know who I am because I have the gimbal with me. So at the scare zone, the characters are like seriously hamming up the camera for me. It's great. They'll follow me.
Oh yeah.
And I freaking love it.
The only thing I don't like with Halloween Horror Nights is the food. I just don't like the food there. But I will say that they have announced the first IP house for this year, and it is A Quiet Place.
Yes.
That's gonna be terrifying.
Yeah. That I have not watched the Quiet Place movies. So the new one is coming out, so I need to binge on that one, because I'd heard about it. Hey, Amy Jo Johnson and Teresa snuck in.
I hope that's not really Amy Jo Johnson, because I just took the wind out of her sails in a recent video on my channel.
Oh, nah, this one's
okay.
Cool.
Good.
This one's cool. Yes, OCDD, there was Haunting of Hill House. That house was so freaking scary. I came home and binged the whole series on Netflix. I did. That house was done so darn well. Again, so much of it was like psychological, everything down to, and culture is another like lover of haunted house construction.
Oh, I am.
Everything that they did to that, we got out, and I'm just like, how did they do that? It's freaking awesome.
What's the problem is that I go into that going, well, this is how they did that. This is how they. It bothers people. I'm like, let me break down how you went through this and what they did, and they changed the height in the room so that all of a sudden you got claustrophobic. They changed the width of the room so that they got claustrophobic. They, You know, they changed the pitch of the floor so you were unsteady, you know, in a particular direction. You were trying to correct right into the scare. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we do to build haunts. So
my favorite house from the last couple of years was the Halloween one from 2 years ago, the original Halloween. Did you go in that one?
In California or Florida?
Did.
In Florida.
Was it Halloween? Did I go in the Halloween house?
Oh, it was.
No,
it was terrifying.
No, it was. I don't think I went in that one. I went in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house.
Well, we went in the last room in the Halloween one was just a room full of Michael Myers mannequins.
Mm-hmm.
And we walked in there, and my friend went, "Oh hell no," because we knew at least like 3 of them were going to be real people, and they were going to scare. Like it was terrifying.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. I wasn't there for that one, but I was there at the one for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it literally it was like being in the whole freaking movie. I mean, it's as soon as you heard that chainsaw.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was like, okay, I need to run out of here. I
thought the original construction houses that they had last year outside the IPs were actually very well done, and they told a very good story. I thought they actually they've been weaving story into Horror Nights more and more, and I love it.
Yeah, they've been doing a really good job with that. No, they don't OCD. They're just there for Halloween Horror Nights, and then
it changes every year.
They change it. They change it up. But man, I went from the Beetlejuice house to the Haunting of Hill House. Talk about.
Plus you went plus you went to the preview and showed everybody all the cool stuff in the shop. I remember that.
Yeah, and the tribute store. That's another one.
Yeah.
That's another one. Oh, which reminds me, there's all of the Universal Monsters are actually on vacation over at the All Hallows Eve shop. I got to drop some video of that because it's pretty freaking cool.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I like going through there.
I love what they do with those shops when they do those long winding shops and with all the different rooms that are also well themed. Oh my God, that is just, it's something that they do fantastically over there.
Oh, it is. It's so great. I remember the one for Halloween Horror Nights at this one tribute store. I think it was from last year. They had like a speakeasy theme, but it was all run by skeletons. And
nice.
It was just freaking
tribute store last year was good. It was real good. Like I said, the only thing about Horror Nights I don't like is the food. We have a thing now where we get food before we go into Horror Nights, so we'll go to like World Series of Hot Dogs or something like that. I just I don't want food that looks like rotting flesh, and
and there's
some of the desserts are intriguing though.
I guess. Yeah, kind of.
Well, Chucky, the food at Chucky's cart was actually good, and I think it's because it looked like actual food with a twist to it. Because they had like a one that had like popcorn chicken. It was like in a popcorn box, and it had like saffron threads and like ranch dressing. I don't know. It was really cool looking. So
there was something in that Chucky food last year that looked so disgusting that I would like the very like thought of it like turned my stomach. I mean, I'm gonna need to look it up. But do you remember the?
Oh, was that the burger?
Yes, it was like a burger with like candy on it or something.
Yeah, that one I didn't. I didn't want that one.
Again, I'm not afraid of savory and sweet mixed together, but that was not for me. Did you see the Chucky popcorn bucket they did last year though, where like it
I did
when you talk to it?
Yes, I did.
Oh, good Lord, Universal. That's another thing Universal excels at is their popcorn buckets. Like Florida doesn't get near the awesomeness that like California or especially Tokyo gets when it comes to merchandise like that. But Universal busts out all the stops with their popcorn buckets. They always have some kind of like, I got the toothless one from How to Train Your Dragon a while back, and like you wind the back and like the wings flap and stuff like that. It's really neat.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't need any more popcorn buckets, but I really want that one.
Also, to
Ugh.
respond to that one comment about the Beetlejuice house, yeah, that was kind of more of a gag house than it was like
Yeah, if you've seen the movie, it was pretty much the same thing,
Yeah.
just put together. So it was a nice, nice little, what you see is what you get. Nothing really
I enjoyed it.
out
I
of the
don't really like
way.
Beetlejuice the movie. I don't love the movie.
Yeah,
But I like the house. The house was creatively done.
it was
Everything
pretty
about
fun.
that, including the tribute store, was good. So,
Yeah. But speaking of something else here, and this is our last hot topic, Lethal
Ooh.
Weapon 5 will have a very familiar director. And of course, that director is going to be Mel Gibson. Now, apparently, Richard Donner had started the screenplay. Richard Donner unfortunately passed away. Richard Donner directed my favorite Superman movie ever. So Mel Gibson is picking up the script, and he confirmed this, and I want to say, oh, here it is, where he confirms that he was in it.
Direct the fifth film in the Lethal Weapon series. And Richard Donner, who did the other four, sadly passed away, and he's a good friend, and he kind of tasked me with carrying the flag home on that one. So I find it'll be an honor for me to do that.
What do you guys think about this Lethal Weapon 5 movie? I know we talk about Hollywood doing all these reboots. What do you guys think?
There's already a Lethal Weapon 5. It was produced in Philadelphia, where it is always sunny, and it stars Dennis and Mac, and it's perfect. And Mel Gibson cannot come. They should honestly call it Lethal Weapon 6, because Lethal Weapon 5 exists and it's perfect, and nothing else needs to ever be made about it.
Well, interestingly enough, nomenclature aside, I think that the only person that understands this franchise is Mel. I think the only person that could direct this or make it, look and feel like it, is Mel. And I think, if you get everybody else back, I think the only way this would work would be with Mel. So, yeah. I mean, what I would love is if he brought back Rene Russo. I mean, if you just get the gang back together, and perhaps there was an accidental oopsie, that happened, and there happened to be you could pass the torch to the two sons.
Look, say whatever you will about Mel Gibson as a human, but he's a good director.
Well, I mean, there are people in this world that are, have some opinions that I think are detestable. And, whether or not that happens to be something that you could assign certainly to Mel is a conversation to be had, of course. But, in Hollywood, it's all about X's and O's, and it's all about, whether or not you can carry the water from point A to point B. And, setting aside the fact that he offended about 80% of Hollywood with some silly statements that he made, he's been, outside looking in for a long, long time, and has still managed to make some successful things. So, put all those different elements together and, make your decision. But the only person that I think could possibly carry this pail of water across the finish line is him, and no one else. So there's that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Mel Gibson, more often than not, absolutely, delivers. So even though I'm not a fan of sequels, the fact that Mel is going to be finishing the script and directing it, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. And despite all the other stuff that he said, I'm going to be very thankful to him for introducing the term sugar tits into my vocabulary. That's all I say.
Oh, dear Lord.
I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to file that away and use that one.
Oh, God, There's nothing more fun than listening to those voicemails that he left. Like just listening to him be a deranged psychopath. Like it's just, and like listening to like Opie and Anthony listen to it or something like that. Like just listening to people pick it apart. It's oh my god, it's comedy gold.
It so is. I was living in LA when that came out, and man, I'm just like I never get tired. Never get tired of listening to that. I tell you. So I'm looking forward to this coming out. Should be very, very fun. And like Culture said, if anyone truly understands this franchise outside of Danny Glover, it would be Mel Gibson.
Oh, totally.
Thank you very much, Teresa, for that 99-cent super sticker. More than likely, I believe that is a rose. So thank you so very much for that, my dear. Love you, Teresa. Check out Teresa's channel. She is amazing with her Lord of the Rings lore and all that. I wish I could read books as much as she does, but I cheat and I get the audiobooks. So.
Nothing wrong with audiobooks. There's nothing wrong with that.
Freaking love audiobooks.
But no, Lord of the Rings lore on a channel. That sounds like my kind of channel. So I can check that out.
Yes, definitely check out Teresa's channel. You were absolutely.
I go down rabbit holes of Lord of the Rings lore on YouTube, like just watching video after video. So I definitely want to check that out.
Yeah. Well, you'll love that. I'm like, I'm not really into fantasy, but at Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings, I will watch that. The Hobbit, I will watch that. And I have all of the Lord of the Rings books on Audible because, yeah, I need them because Tolkien's writing is just...
It is not for the weak of heart.
No, it isn't. Teresa, are you a wrench on my channel? If not, if you just search on YouTube, Miss Martin Muses, you will find her channel. So
I'm going to do it right now.
Find her channel. Go ahead and find that. I saw House of the Dragon with you, Lorena. It was great. Well, thank you. And we are actually going to talk about House of the Dragon, aka Hot D, as we like to call it on the Dark Council. We're going to talk about that. We call it Hot D.
I mean, you're not wrong.
This is true. so many ways. So 30 of you folks in here watching, thank you so very much. So let's talk about Inside Out 2, which I did not have very high hopes for at all, but apparently with the box office, it's been doing really well. And to kind of set the stage here, with Inside Out 2, what my sister does with every movie that comes out for kids, she will ask me, and she didn't have to do this before, is it okay for the kids to watch? So I saw Inside Out 2, and I said, well, exclusive of a anxiety attack scene, which I really felt did not need to be in there, and the level that they put it in there, for the most part, it was a good watch. That I thought. I had some issues with it, with some personal things that were done. But other than that, it was a hell of a lot better than, what was that other bomb that Pixar had before this one? What was the one after Strange World?
Oh gosh, what came into Strange World? I don't even remember.
Did I wipe my memory?
Was it Turning Red?
One?
Was Turning Red after Strange World?
I think so. Culture, do you know if it was turning red?
Well, I mean,
last one. I hated that one. So
it came back late. You had Elemental, which
thank you, Mark Daly.
Yeah, Elemental, which was not great. And Lightbeer came out before.
Oh God, I refuse to watch that.
A strange thing.
I was excited about Lightyear because I liked the old Buzz Lightyear of Star Command cartoon, the one that like the ride in Magic Kingdom is kind of based off of.
Yeah, I remember
And I
that.
thought it was gonna be like that, and it was nothing like that. I'm like, where's the fun? Like, Zurg is him as an old man. Stop it. I hated it.
And they changed them. They put what the heck did they put in there? They used Chris Evans instead of this is horrible. I'm forgetting my actors. Instead of the original voice of Buzz Lightyear.
They used instead of Tim Allen, they used Chris Evans.
Yes, Tim Allen. Thank you. Yes.
You know, Tim Allen would not. I wasn't against that decision because I was like, you know, Tim Allen's voice is kind of old for the role. Like when it's not a toy. Like when you're trying to like, but what they were trying to do with them trying to make it like a Marvel movie, essentially. You know, I thought Chris Evans was an inspired choice. I was happy with it, but then just watching it in execution just wasn't good. It's just like how you don't need to do a fish out of water movie with something like Buzz Lightyear. Like, I don't know. It was so many weird decisions made with that movie.
Yeah, before the film came out, it's like the trailer. I actually liked it. I actually liked the trailer. But then when
I was excited for the whole thing. Yeah,
I wasn't too keen on it. But so have you either of you gentlemen, have you seen Inside Out 2?
Not yet for me.
Culture, have you seen it yet?
No. I haven't had a chance. I've been trying not to die, you know, on the couch, bed. But will I see it? Of course I'll go see Inside Out 2.
Yeah, I'm going to see it eventually as well. This is just I'm traveling all over this week, so it's a rough week for me and last week. So I will eventually get there over there to see it because I got to use that Regal movie theater membership of mine at some point. So justify the money.
Dude, we got the same thing.
I switched from AMC to Regal because Regal has 4DX theaters. Have you ever seen a movie in 4DX?
Not 4DX. The one near me, we don't have 4DX. The theater that has 4DX, I would have to drive 30 miles to, and I'm not freaking doing that.
Yeah, for those that don't know in the chat, that 4DX basically turns the movie into a ride. I mean, your seat moves, they hit you with water, they there's smoke in the theater. Sometimes if there's smoke, like even when like they're fighting and like the people are getting punched, you feel like a little like tap on your back. In the seats. It's so cool. I pick and choose which ones I'll see in 4DX. Like the second time I saw the Mario movie, I saw that in 4DX, and the Mario Kart scene was so much fun in 4DX. Probably more fun than the actual ride's going to be in Universal if it's the same one from California. But yeah, so much fun. But I won't see a movie I won't see a movie in 4DX or in the dine-in theater on the first time I see a movie because it takes away from the movie experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I usually will see it in oh gosh, what is it called? RPX. That's the other one that they'll have. So usually we'll see that in RPX with the enhanced sound and everything. But for Inside Out 2, I saw it in regular 2D. Because I wasn't sure what to expect. So the title line here from Deadline, Inside Out 2 clears 22 million plus Monday. Pixar's second best ever. Sequel will see near 70 million second weekend, according to the box office figures. This movie is actually going to do, it's going to do well. And here's the reason why it is going to do well. I don't know what come to Jesus meeting that they had at Pixar, but this is the first Pixar movie that I've seen that has not had the quote unquote activist agenda pushed into it. The only agenda that I will say is the use of the character anxiety. Now, granted, this is probably the writer. I've seen interviews with her. She wanted to focus on anxiety. I don't agree with that. I don't consider anxiety to be an emotion, and this is speaking as someone who was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder in college. That's a disorder. I could see worry as an emotion. I could see if something was off with the other characters to indicate anxiety, because I really did not see the need to bring in like what, 5, 6 more additional characters that they
So
brought
what
in
are
there.
the additional what are the additional characters? I only know about
Well, yeah.
anxiety.
We have got Envy, which is the little blue-haired one down here that Disgust is holding. You've got
Okay.
Anxiety there in the middle, the one that looks like the cracked out Muppet. And then you have Embarrassment over there with the hoodie on, kind of like a gentler, kinder looking Unabomber. That's what you have with Embarrassment. You have Ennui, which is, I guess, supposed to be like just I'm just over it. Stays on his phone all the time. And the other one we have is Nostalgia, who is an old woman, where she kind of comes out and they tell her, we're not supposed to see you for at least 20 more years. She goes back, in the closet. So that one was actually funny. If there was any one of those that I would have kept, it would have been Nostalgia, because people laughed.
What about the internal doctor who comes out to self-diagnose with autism without ever speaking to an actual doctor? That wasn't in there.
I didn't. No, that wasn't in there.
I'm making a joke.
No, I'm laughing because I'm like, don't think they probably didn't have that in the version of the script. Okay,
gender identity sitting there manning the pronoun button, like.
Because remember with the original trailer, and I think it was on a Stream of Culture when we saw this girl on the other hockey team that you see, with the way that they edited the trailer, it made it seem as if that was Riley's love interest.
Yeah, it was. They were baiting, is what we would say, or I think we even said it at the time when we were watching it, and that's a real problem. I mean, it's a big problem for Pixar, but Disney as a whole, and they're being called out on it from all sides, not just people who are tired of it, but people who are, tired of it the other way. They're like,
well, yeah. Now, are people mad that there wasn't any of that stuff in this movie? Like, are we getting like Kotaku articles about like how Disney dropped the ball on representation?
Kotaku cannot possibly attack Disney right now. Yeah, they actually went on a weird attack today. Anyway, yeah, I mean, Kotaku needs Disney, so they're not going to go at them.
Yeah, they're not going to pee on the hand that gives them free cupcakes. They're not.
Well, I mean, I saw a bunch of weirdos trying to sexualize this child on on Twitter X today, being like, oh, she was definitely gay for her friend, and she wanted to get in that locker and do stuff. And I was like, stop it. It's a kid. The character is a kid.
It's exactly, the character's a kid. And here's the thing. Okay. With the girl that you saw, the reason why Riley was so enamored with her is because she was on the high school hockey team that she wanted to be on. This girl was the star.
Yeah,
exactly. That was exactly it. But they couldn't come out and put that in the trailer. And I think that, I know it did for me, which is why I told my sister, I said, wait until I see this movie, and then I'll let you know if it's okay to bring my nieces and nephews to go and see it, because they didn't need to do that. And that was very deceptive editing, because when I saw the film, it's like, oh, okay, she wants to be on the high school varsity hockey team. And this chick is the captain of the team. So obviously she wants to impress her. Okay, makes total sense now. All right. But that's not how they try to sell it.
Oh, no, and you know what? I'm willing to bet that the original cut of this movie probably did have that stuff in there. I saw somebody kind of jokingly say, and I kind of agree with it, that like maybe they just like swapped out the Chinese Saudi Arabian cut like at the last minute for all audiences.
I think they did. That's why I said whenever the Come to Jesus meeting happened, that's probably what they said, is like, look, we need to pull out a win. So, that agenda stuff, we need to get, we cannot put this in here, because Pixar movies have been bombing left and right. So I did not have very high expectations when I went to see this film. I thought that this film was just going to be absolutely crap. It's going to be awful. And kept waiting for the other shoe to drop, which is a really bad feeling to have watching a film like this. But the more that I saw, I was like, okay, they're really not going in that particular, direction. And I was just shocked. There were some good messages in there, although I'm not trying to spoil it, but let's just say a decision that Riley made did not have a direct consequence, I felt. So I felt they copped out on that. And again, with anxiety, it's like taking over the whole thing. Again, the person who wrote this, she basically said this was about her struggles, with anxiety. But what I think this person forgot is that there are kids watching this film who have no idea what anxiety is. And they really don't need to be diagnosed by watching a movie. I felt anxiety was just an unnecessary character that they put in there. And I can just see a bunch of kids, and this is just me, and this is my mom radar here, that these kids are going to be thinking, oh my gosh, if I'm having heart palpitations or I get upset or something doesn't happen the way that I need to, my heart's going to start racing and I can't breathe. And I thought that was a bit too much. But
yeah, I mean, and I agree with you, and that comes from me as somebody who was also diagnosed as a child with generalized anxiety disorder. So 100% understand.
Yeah, so this film, it's not bad. It is going to grow legs. It is going to make money. It's okay for your kids to see. You're not going to be having conversations that you were not ready to have, with your kids about it if they see it. But I'm seeing, and I'm pretty sure you guys have been seeing in the press, how you have, we'll say the access media, saying that this is going to save Disney and that Pixar is saved and all of that. And I'll just throw this out to you guys, because granted, you have not seen the film. Just on surface value, is one movie enough to save Pixar and Disney?
No, it's one movie is enough to give them the shot in the arm they need to maybe shift their general strategy, which could in turn save them and deliver a couple of hits that they desperately need. But no, one movie is not enough to completely turn the tide. It is because one movie can be an anomaly. When the Eternals came out, I thought the Eternals might have been an anomaly. And, then once you get more and more, it becomes a pattern. And Disney needs a pattern to show its audience a pattern of success. And the way you get that is by making movies with no agenda. But they're not going to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I mean, one film isn't a turnaround. This won't even turn around this year's losses. I mean, you have to consider that going into this weekend, Disney's box office for the year compared to everybody else was below 2%. So, their collections might catch up with, I don't know, who's in last place next to them. I mean, just in front of them. Lionsgate. They might catch up with Lionsgate, although who knows? I mean, it's like, they're not going to catch Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is about to, drop their stuff. They won't catch Universal. Universal's about to drop in a week, not this weekend, but I think the following weekend's going to drop
Despicable Me 4.
Despicable Me, 4. Yeah,
that's exactly. Going to be a license to print money.
Yeah. And
the Minions don't miss.
Yeah. Well, in Inside Out, I mean, honestly, they did take a little bit of the box office away from Despicable Me 4 or Minions, whatever you want to call it. But, people are going to remember why they like that movie. It looks brilliant, why they like those movies. And I think, going into it, they're going to pull a big weekend. And Universal is going to stay in front of the animation wins for the year because I think they already did they drop 1 or 2 already? And, Disney gave you Wish.
And Illumination gave us Migration, which was really good. It
So-
Was it good?
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted to see it and then didn't.
Yeah, it was it was
Didn't
really
make money
good.
though, did
It
it?
was really
Didn't it
good.
fail?
It was did it what?
Did it make money?
It made money. I think one of the things is they didn't really advertise. I don't know if it was genius or stupidity, but they didn't really advertise it that much. I saw the trailers in the theater, and every time they showed the trailers, people like loved it. There wasn't a lot of publicity for it, and then it just dropped in the movies like around the Christmas holidays,
Mhm.
and just
I
grew
remember-
legs and was just print money.
I remember seeing a giant inflatable duck at Universal one of the last times I
Mhm.
was there to hype the movie.
Yeah.
That
But that was like it. You saw some commercials, but not really. But then they dropped Migration. And then after Migration, Trolls Band Together dropped, which, yes, I did see. I loved the Trolls as a kid. So I love the Trolls movies. So saw that. That still, it didn't make as much money. I think it was like the third Troll movie, but it made money. Now you've got Despicable Me 4 coming out. But more importantly, after Despicable Me 4 comes out, guess what the next animated film from Universal? Guess which one is coming? Have you heard of a film called The Wild Robot?
Oh yeah.
I have not heard of this.
Yeah. It's gotten a lot of buzz already this year.
I saw the trailer in the theater before Inside Out 2. It is so good. It looks so good. I mean, it kind of looks like WALL-E without the enviro wankery in it, but a totally different premise. You have this robot, it's like off on some planet, completely isolated, and winds up having to raise like this duck. It sounds simple, but the lessons that you hear being said and what goes on it's so gorgeous. Literally, I almost started to cry watching it. The animation is just beautiful. And I'm forgetting who the guy who did How to Train Your Dragon did this one.
Okay, I do like that.
And
I
that
do like
one's-
that movie.
That is going to that one is really going to make money. So yeah, that's the next one from Universal that's going to be coming out. So yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you two gentlemen. I mean, it's a shot in the arm, but it's not going to save them. Not with something like this coming out. Despicable Me 4, which is going to make money regardless, because it's a franchise that families are, they know it's safe, so they're going to take their kids. But then you have this one coming out later, which is just going to be absolutely, absolutely awesome. So, and meanwhile, Pixar is going to come out with stuff like what?
Toy Story 7
Yeah.
Oh, the last thing the world needs is another Toy Story.
or 12.
Yeah.
Like, how many
13.
times are they going to
Frozen 3? Are they doing that too?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I thought
Frozen
Toy-
3 to
I-
5. 3 to 5.
I thought Toy Story 1 had a solid ending. Toy Story 2 had a solid ending. Toy Story 3 had the best ending.
Oh my
And
gosh,
they just
yes.
keep going back. They keep going back to that well. And it's like, you had the perfect bookend. Why do you keep messing with this?
I don't get it. I don't get it. It's not necessary, but that's what happens when you run out of ideas. Like, I'm not interested in seeing a Toy Story 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know. They'll never get it. But I am interested in seeing the Wild Robot. That's gonna be, oh my gosh, that's gonna be so cool. I can't wait. Well, folks, let's see. Let's get on to our last topic of the evening. And thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure you hit that like button and let people know that we're here. Let's go to Hot D. AKA House of the Dragon. Now, unfortunately, I watched all of Game of Thrones, including that disastrous season 8, and was just like, I don't want to watch anything Game of Thrones ever. And then heard about House of the Dragon. I'm kind of like, well, yeah, I'm Team Targaryen, so I have to watch it on general principle. I'm like, how good is it going to be? And I was shocked. Granted, I have not read the book. I understand if you read the book, yeah, you're going to have issues with the show. It's just one of those things that happens. But just the story, I just loved it.
You have to take creative liberties with any literary work when you're adapting it for the screen. And as somebody who reads books and then sees adaptations, I don't mind differences as long as they're good and serve the story as well as the original did, because otherwise I just know everything that's going to happen. I've seen this already. I read this already. I like there to be something new that I don't expect. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I get you. Culture, you were saying?
Nothing. I love House of the Dragon. I think it's probably one of the best season 2 premieres you could ever possibly have. I think that they did a little pivot at the beginning in this, or from the very beginning in this episode, to make you a little uneasy about whatever team you chose. And
yes,
the very last little bit of this is something that I think any fan of any stripe will like. You're going to hear the last few moments of that in your thoughts for a while. The last few moments of the show that'll resonate with you in whatever way. And saying it's down 22% from series launch is like, okay, you had lots of people double dipping, from HBO and watching it, on streaming. You had lots of different factors involved here. You also had other things happening at the same time the premiere came out. So I have this sense that these numbers are only going to get bigger, especially as people start talking about how great this first episode was. So,
I agree.
My biggest takeaway is that we're talking positively about this show. When we get to the Rings of Power season 2, do you think anybody's going to be talking positively about it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I have a song parody already written about Rings of Power season 2.
There you go.
So
yeah.
No, this is fantasy done right. It's fantasy done for the fans. It's fantasy that doesn't actively hate its fans.
Yes.
So, I'm shocked because the three of us are saying we like this, but I was told that the only reason we don't like the Acolyte is because we're all racist, sexist, homophobes. And this is 2 female leads. It's got race swapped characters from the books. It's got gay romance in it. Why? How is it possible that we like this?
Because God forbid we should actually like good writing over all else. And that's exactly what this boils down to, because I remember when House of the Dragon first came out and some folks were concerned about where they're having the race swap, and then we've got these characters that they've got 2 they got female led characters, and that's when I had to have somebody who had actually read the books say no, with Fire and Blood, to actually say this was how the book was set up. That Rhaenyra was going to be the successor, and then that was going to be a big problem for men and for people in the realm to accept her as truly as queen instead of a king. So that was already precedent set in the book. So
it's the Targaryen Civil War, which is called the Dance of Dragons. Now, were the Valerians were the Valerians were they black in the books? I didn't think they were,
no.
I didn't mind the race swap because it made her infidelity in the first season with her kids so much more obvious to everybody. And I thought it was great. I loved that.
Yeah. It was just, the acting in it is so top notch that all of that chatter went away because people were just watching great TV. Okay, well, yeah, I'm gonna say great TV, good TV that was just there to entertain your ass. That's all we wanted, was fantasy that we're used to seeing, these sweeping stories, characters you love to hate and hate to love. And, jaw-dropping moments. And that's what we got in House of Dragon. And with season 2, like, folks have to remember, well, not that you have to remember, but House of the Dragon season 1 was kicking Rings of Power's ass all over the place. And then I think the day that Amazon dropped the trailer for season 2 of Rings of Power, Max dropped the trailer for season 2 of House of the Dragon.
They did, and it was funny because Amazon had like hyped that they were dropping the trailer that day, like, and Max did not. So they dropped the trailer, and then Max just like dropped it like 2 hours later and just into oblivion. Like, culture hit the nail on the head about being so uncertain about the team that you chose, because I walked in like thinking, oh, Alicent, Cersei 2.0, Aegon, Joffrey 2.0, and I left this episode being like, man, I feel for both these characters. Like, Alicent really came across as just a mom. Like, her best friend betrayed her, and she's trying to just keep her family safe. And Aegon, when Aegon was like, oh, I want to give this guy his sheep back because it's the right thing to do, I'm like, oh, yeah, you're not a bad guy. Like, you're a little pervert, but like, you're not a bad guy. Hey, nothing. I'm not gonna shame him. Nothing wrong with that. Go be a pervert. But like, it's, oh man, it was a good. And then the scene where I forget names. Rhaenyra's firstborn, when he comes back from the north. Which, by the way, first of all, seeing the wall and seeing the north.
Yes.
Talking about that, but I got annoyed because it was like, oh well, the dragons won't fly over the wall, and I'm like, well, Daenerys's dragon had no problem flying over the wall,
exactly.
Like, which just made me more annoyed at the idiots that wrote X-Men Origins Wolverine, who were the showrunners of Game of Thrones, and when he comes back and he's trying to like deliver like the report on but he can't because he's grieving, and the two of them have that moment. What a moment that was. Just so good. Somebody tried to, like, because I just did a video on this on my channel, Tooneytown TV, about how, people love House of the Dragon and hate the Acolyte, and how it destroys the narrative that Lucasfilm was trying to say. And they're like, well, Star Wars had that toxic fandom built in, and Game of Thrones was the most popular TV show on the planet. What do you expect? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure Star Wars was pretty popular at one point. I know it's been a while. You might not remember, but people really liked Star Wars for a while. And like this Variety with this hit, with this headline, so misleading. The down 22% from series launch. Where was your headline about the Acolyte getting a quarter of Ahsoka's numbers, Variety? I don't remember seeing that.
Oh, well, they're not going to do that because Leslie Headland is part of the Skittles Nation. So can't be trashing her product, even when something like this is absolutely more superior. But Marvin, you're right about these moments. Granted, I'm Team Black. I'm always going to be Team Black. I'm just strong-headed like that. I said I'm always going to be Team Black. However, like you were saying, these moments of drama that we see, with Alicent, the drama that you see where they're like, well, where's Rhaenyra? Where is she? Well, she's grieving. Well, she needs to be here. Well, she has to do this. And Rhaenys was explaining how she found out.
She had a human moment. She had a human moment.
Yes. When she lands with her dragon and I guess finds out where her son's body got regurgitated, so to speak. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to say. And she finds that we do not see the body, but we see how
we see the dragon's
Rhaenyra, You see the dragon's wing, and you see, where she's she's slowly looking, just like I have to see, is this really him? And she knows that that's her son. And just seeing her break down like that, I'm just like, oh, this is the type of human emotion that we like to see. And it was great. And that part at the end, granted,
Oh my
I know some people have issue with that, but it's like, look, this is visual medium on a certain streaming channel, and let's just say when it involves children, there's certain things they're not going to allow you to do. Okay, adults are something different. Okay, kids, no. So they had to write it differently, but it still came down to that Sophie's choice moment, and I was shocked.
Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, the blood and cheese moment at the end, it was just, I was in shock. And again, it's like, you think you're gonna get this cathartic moment. They're gonna find was it Eamon, or what, the guy with the one eye?
Eamon Target. Yeah. I thought they were gonna go
find Eamon, and you're all excited for that, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, and then you've now sympathy for the Greens. It is such, like, this is a show that actually does blur the line, in the gray area, the way the Acolyte likes to think that it does. And I'm sorry I keep comparing it to the Acolyte, but it's
that's okay. We're gonna burn that in a little bit too.
Well, I look at this, and I've been looking at this show for a while and comparing it to the first few seasons of the original Game of Thrones show, and I think that this is probably that same level of shock, that people felt when they push. Oh my gosh, how do I not remember Wheelchair Boy's name?
Bran.
Oh, yeah, when they push when Bran's pushed from the tower, and this show managed to do that in season 2, and again, you keep looking at it and you're going, okay, so who do you wait? Did I pick wrong? What are they doing? How is this accomplishing thing? And there was language in the show itself about, is this more than, or is it just simply a blind lust for power? Are we just, is that what we're doing? Is there not more here? It's a very, very intriguing in the way it presents, the conflicts. And so it goes back to the very first season or 2 of the original Game of Thrones series in a way that, few shows are capable. The question is, can Condal continue to do this? I don't know. He had a co-showrunner prior to this season. Now it's just him. Where are we going to end up at? And like I said, the initial numbers are nothing compared to what this is going to hit. And again, you also have to remember it hit on a Tuesday night, right?
Right. Wait, no. House of Dragon was on a Sunday.
Sunday
night, but it was Father's Day. But it was Father's Day.
Yeah. I knew it was screwed up. Yeah, sorry. I'm confusing it with inferior Star Wars.
Yeah.
But and I'm still not 100% well, so blame me for.
Oh, no worries, dude.
But I do look at it and I go, okay. But this was extraordinarily well done. I think that the next episode is set up in a way that will give us something equally shocking, and then it'll settle into the regular season, the regular episode 3, 4, and 5 before we start to pick up the pace, because it always seems that when you get to the beginning of each season has always got something extraordinary, and then as you get to the end, you get to the penultimate episode, the episode before the last one, you get to see another moment where something incredibly unexpected happens, and then the episode after that is the wrap up and the lead into the next season. So I kind of feel like this is pacing exactly the same way, and I think because I think these are shortened. This is a shortened show as far as the seasons go.
Yeah, I think it's like eight. Yeah, it's like
Is
8
it?
episodes. I
Okay.
think.
So I think we're going to end up with. I think we're going to end up like maybe a red wedding, at the penultimate episode. Not necessarily that, but I'm just saying. I think that. I mean that if I were doing this as a showrunner, that's what I would do to the audience. So. Yeah.
Man, I still haven't recovered from that. People are talking about the red wedding. I'm like, why are people saying, wait till you see the red wedding? What's going to happen at the red wedding? And then I saw that episode. I was like, what can top that? It was so shocking. Oh my God.
Shortly after that aired, I was at a Renaissance fair, and there was a guy playing the accordion, like kind of over by, like, I guess you can call it a little food court area. It's like where people buy their flagons of ale and their like turkey legs and stuff like that. And so I went over to the guy and I handed him like $5 and I like whispered in his ear what I wanted him to play. And he starts playing The Rains of Castamere in the middle of it. The song from the Red Wedding.
Oh.
And I just wanted to watch people's reaction, and everybody flipped out. It was hysterical.
Yeah.
Disruptive force.
Oh, it so is. It so is. Yeah, the red man, that was like masterfully written, masterfully shot. Yes, there was just blood freaking everywhere, but that music, yeah.
And the purple
Anytime
wedding,
I hear
when the purple wedding happened, I was like fanning myself with my hands, going, "Oh my God, it's happening! It's finally happening!"
Makes a pause for a sec when invited to a wedding. Don't get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I am so excited about this show. It feels good to have a show that you're excited about, and you're excited about seeing and excited about sharing what you saw with others. So cannot wait. Again, I love, oh my God, the set design is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. So before we go from what's amazing to what is absolutely just an abomination, I guess is what I would call it. The Acolyte, which I don't think anybody is going to bother watching now that House of the Dragon is here. And this 4th episode is just absolutely 100% garbage. Have you gentlemen had the misfortune of watching episode 4?
Well, yeah, I have a YouTube channel. So
yeah, same.
I suffered the indignity of episode 4. They're halfway through this complete garbage, and it still smells like the bathroom you wouldn't go into, like I said before. It's just like
it is. I from the pronouns of Emmett Otter there on the on the screen.
Emmett Otter.
Doesn't he look like he should be playing a little wash tub?
I called him Dollar Store Rocket. But I think I like
to me
better.
Yeah, to me it just looks like a deformed guinea pig, but whatever. Doesn't matter.
I don't know. It looks like it's sniffing somebody's underwear.
Oh, well, created by Leslie Headland.
Maybe the nickname is Biden. You don't know.
Well, how about the fact? How about the fact that OSHA is like hitting on Padawan Chitara?
Yeah.
And I know apparently they made it a point to say that the character was 18 because I guess they knew that, people were going to start picking that apart. But man, she looks like she's 12. The actress is 19. The character is 18, but she looks like she's 12. It's weird. It's creepy. And people like these shill outlets are celebrating it like, oh, they're going full queer with this romance. I'm like, it's a kid. She's in youngling classes at the temple. She's taking lessons alongside 10-year-olds.
It's like, don't you see there's something wrong with that?
And just the concentrated effort to destroy the Jedi. She is trying to finish Order 66. It is all that we are going to get to the point. I think I said this earlier with Jonas and Vash on that Park Place. We're going to get to the point where Order 66 happens in Revenge of the Sith, and you're going to watch it, and they want you to go, "Oh, serves them right. They asked for this." Like that heart-wrenching moment that George Lucas created, and it's all because they want to get the Jedi deconstructed to the point where Rey will then create the new Jedi that's so much better than the horrible, corrupt Jedi of the past. That's exactly, it's what's going to happen. It's 100% what's going to happen.
You're not wrong, Marvin. And it's very,
I wish
it's very,
was.
it's very obvious. Yeah, it's same. It's like I love Star Wars. Like I want Star Wars normie, and watching this, and I'm just like, something's not right. Something's like off, and it's been off. And then you hear again some of the shill, some of them are shill channels, most of them are, who are just like, oh, don't worry, the sequel trilogy is gonna get retconned. And I'm like, well, I don't see that happening at all with every single Disney Plus Star Wars show. There was a concerted effort to try to quote unquote fix what they couldn't explain very well in the sequel trilogy films, not to retcon them, but to add more context to them. And I totally agree with you, the Acolyte, the sole reason for that show to exist is to basically demonize a Jedi. They are the most incompetent that I've ever seen. I feel so bad for Jae Jung Lee, because I really do like the Master Soul character, but it's just like,
and he's doing the best he can with what he's got.
You got that right. And you hear some of these sites, especially like the Mary Sue, say, oh well, people don't like, they hate the show. It's like, yeah, we don't like how it's written, but so many people are just like, Lee Jung Jae has more emotion. We just hate the fact that he's given this crap material that he has to work with, which I believe is completely beneath him, given how well, how accomplished of an actor, that he is. But the whole intent of this whole entire show, and yes, I will say this, to make the Jedi look like idiots, to cement the Force as quote unquote being female, because I don't know if you guys had the same reaction I did, but oh gosh, when Soul is talking to Osha about her sister and he says there's good in her, I know it.
Oh,
my head exploded, and not in a good way.
We just have to take away everything from Luke Skywalker's story, everything. It's despicable. And look, either Asian Ezra Miller is a red herring, or it's the worst kept secret since Halbrand was Sauron. It's so, I think that when they take the mask off of Smilo Ren, he's gonna be Asian Ezra Miller. But then I think it's revealed that he's not the master. He's actually he's also a servant of the real master, which will be one of the two lesbian moms.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll do an "I am your mother."
Man,
and that's it's. But I wouldn't put it past her. I wouldn't put it past her to make Asian Ezra Miller the big bad, and she's just really, really bad at writing and keeping this a secret.
No, because she can't freaking write. I think she wrote the first episode, and other people were writing the other ones. But all in all, this show is crap. The characters we could really care less about. All they're doing is deconstructing the Jedi. And I'm forgetting the name of the guy, but the one who looks like the Conehead. I'm sorry, that's the nickname that I gave him. Because people were dropping the name, and I'm like, I don't know what the name of this guy is. But apparently, in the Phantom Menace, he was the one who said that the Sith have been extinct for a millennia.
Yes, 1,000 years.
The Sith have been extinct for a millennia. The next thing the next thing somebody's going to be like, oh, a Wookiee died, and he's going to be like, screw the Wookiees. like just to counteract everything he said in the original trilogy. Poor Kiadi-Mundi.
Kiadi-Mundi. Yeah, supposedly they have him in this show, and it's like 40 years before he's even born or something like that.
Yeah. When Kiadi-Mundi dies on Megiddo during Order 66 and Revenge of the Sith, he's supposed to be 70 years old, and and that was confirmed by George Lucas. Officially, it was on trading cards and everything.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
This doesn't this occur like at 137 BBY?
Yep.
Around there, yeah.
So it's like, this isn't even possible for him to be in this stupid high Let's Get High Republic show, and it isn't even possible for him to have not known and or didn't tell somebody in the previous films that the Sith's been around for a while. There were twins just a minute ago.
Not for nothing. You bring this immaculate conception baby into the High Council chamber in episode 1, and I get that maybe Yoda didn't know about it, but like Kiadi-Mundi's not going, hey man, they were like these stunning and brave twins that were conceived by the Force like 100 years ago when I was there. Not oh god, it's just I honestly think I legitimately think you said anything goes here, right? I could say language wise.
That's exactly
okay.
Yeah. Plus, we're past a half an hour, so
Okay, so I legitimately think she was like, "Look, I need to show that the Jedi are toxic men. So can I just have the one that has a dick for a head?"
I wouldn't put it past her.
She's, it is just there's malice behind every line of this show. Malice for George Lucas, malice for us. Just it is a petulant child trying to snatch your thing away from you, not because she wants it, but because it's yours and what it represents to you.
Theory's reaction was hilarious. I haven't seen Theory's reaction. Be interesting. Theory, God bless him. He, thought Ahsoka was just off the chain, but even he can't defend this crap. You know what I heard?
I'm gonna defend Theory on that, because at first I thought Ahsoka was great when I first started watching it, and then I realized what was happening. I was seeing things that I loved from other better shows. I was seeing The Ghost. I was seeing Chopper, Hera, things that I love from Rebels, from Clone Wars. And that was convincing me that this was good. And then when I really thought about what the show was saying, I'm like, oh, it's not saying anything. There's nothing new. And, her playing Ahsoka Tano is terrible because she brings none of the personality and joy that Ashley Eckstein embodied into that role.
Yeah, I think a lot of that was the person who directed it, because I'm like, Rosario Dawson is a much better actress than this. And in this, in Ahsoka, she was just flat and not engaging, at all. And to kind of add a little bit more context, I didn't watch Rebels at all. So I was just like, the only person I know is Ahsoka. I'm not really.
It's very good. It's Lorena, I will tell you, it's good. I mean, the first season's a little slow, but it really picks up.
I hope so, because I kept falling asleep a few episodes, and then somebody said, I hate to say this, but you're just gonna have to suffer through those beginning episodes to get to the good stuff. I'm like, okay. That's like, okay.
When you get to things like Ahsoka, when Ahsoka fights Vader and stuff like that, it's excellent.
Yeah, but Ahsoka as the live action still sucked rocks, so I ain't ever going to go back and watch that garbage. I'm done.
No, don't watch that. I'm talking about Rebels.
Yeah, I ain't going to watch that either. I'm done with Star Wars, and animation's animation. So I'm sorry, and Skeleton Crew is likely going to suck rocks, and pretty much anything coming out. If we actually get Andor season 2, which are we?
I apparently yes. I never finished the first season of Andor. I didn't like it. I thought it was boring.
I feel like Andor may have been the Rings of Power for Star Wars, and maybe not a lot of people finished it because nobody was into Captain Biscuits or whatever.
Yeah, Kirantos. It is to the point where, and I'd actually said this backstage. Yeah, I'm done with it. I never thought I would get to this point, but I'm completely done. I didn't even subject my channel members to watching it. At least with the Ahsoka, we had fun poking at stuff. So there was actually some things that we kind of liked and had fun making fun of. But with this show, no. It's just blatantly insulting you as fans. Has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. And flies in the face of, again, for me, just saying it as a normie, flies in the face of just, ugh, don't like it. Canceled my Disney Plus, so that's going to be done effective, I think, the 23rd of this month, and that's gonna be it. And I'm done. I'm done with Star Wars. It's all Disney's fault. And the last thing I want to add on here for us to wrap up, and yes, you can quote this, do whatever you want to do with it, but here's how I feel about this. To be blunt, Leslie Headland, Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, is using blackface to shield how absolutely mediocre she is as a writer and producer. Pretty disgusting and bigoted, in my opinion. That's all I got to say about the Acolyte.
I agree with that, and I think she is using a form of blackface for it. She is shielding herself in virtue signaling, and I did an entire song parody about this, where like she is shielding her show with agenda, because otherwise, if it stands on its own, I mean, it's the worst written show ever made. I cannot think of a single thing I've ever seen in my entire life that is written, directed, acted, shot, composed worse than this. It fails on every conceivable level.
Yeah.
The worst movie I've ever seen.
Oh, go ahead, my dear.
The worst movie I've ever seen in my life is Date Movie. It was like a spoof,
Bateman.
scary movie, and
Bateman's
it had Allison Hannigan in it. Yeah. Worst movie I had ever seen in my life. I would watch that before I would voluntarily watch The Acolyte.
Yeah, I think I got that for free, and I wasn't even going to attempt to finish it. I watched it. I didn't make it through it. I
tried to walk out of the theater, but my friends wouldn't leave, and they were driving me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that makes sense.
Teenagers.
I'm watching. I've seen Baby Reindeer on Netflix. That series is actually more engaging than The Acolyte.
Wow.
But then again, I like true crime, so I'm a junkie for stuff.
I love true crime.
Well, folks, thank you so much for hanging out with us for the Spice Lounge. I want to especially thank Marvin, the movie monster, for being here, our special guest. And so thankful Culture was well enough to join us for the show, because we have certainly missed you, my dear.
I've been missing you, and yeah, I just mute when I have to cough. It's fine.
Well, Marvin, can you please tell? Yeah, but well, Marvin, how about you tell the people where they can find you and what you have coming up?
Sure thing. We've got Tooneytown TV, our new movie and TV channel, which launched less than a month ago. Already over 1,200 subscribers. We are onward and upward. We're covering The Acolyte. We're covering movies, TV, comic books, as occasionally dips into video games. Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. We also do Toonie Talk TV over there. That is our live stream podcast. Similar format. We're doing that tonight in about an hour. And we're going to have a great panel to talk about The Acolyte, talk about House of the Dragon, other things just like that. And then we have Tooneytown Wrestling, which is a channel that we've had since December, and that one has been growing tremendously. We try to take a more comedic look at professional wrestling and the news that surrounds it. We have puppet characters for people like Tony Khan, the owner of AEW, of Triple H, and more puppet characters on the way. I've got a couple of projects going on my workbench. My goal is for both these channels is to kind of have like a Muppet Show vibe, where we always have like new puppet characters coming in who are like, being used for comedic purposes. And we do song parodies. I've done song parodies on Leslie Headland. I've done a song parody on Kathleen Kennedy. I've got a Rings of Power one coming out. So yeah, check it out. Tooneytown TV and Tooneytown Wrestling. Thank you very much, folks.
Oh, you are welcome. And I've got that link to Marvin's channel. I think I have Tooneytown Wrestling in the link. So I'll have to add the TV one. But folks,
Yeah, it's
please
new.
do.
Everybody still just gives the wrestling link. But Lorena, thank you for inviting me. This was such a joy to get the invitation, and more of a joy to actually experience the show.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Loved having you here. Would love to have you back on the channel again when you can.
You just let me know.
Culture. What you got going on? Let folks know about, but besides the fact that you're still recovering.
Hey, yeah. Well, I just dropped a video right before we went live here that I want everybody to go check out. It is about the spicy scene that was deleted from House of the Dragon. That happened right before the shocking scene that ended House of the Dragon. And yeah, it's very interesting. But they did cut it, so we definitely need to talk about it. So you can check that out on my channel, Culture Casino. And I'm on not just here on the tube. I'm on all the other platforms as well. So you can find me there under, guess what, Culture Casino. Easy to find. Not to mention the fact that Lorena and I can often be, and even Marvin can often be found hanging out on other channels like That Park Place and T3PO and you name it. And pretty soon there's another channel launching that's going to be super extra special that I'm sure the people that are on this panel will probably take their place on as guests at some point in time. I'm excited about. So on that note, thanks for having me again, Lorena. And yes, I am not dead. Was almost dead, but I'm back among the land of the living. So thanks for having me.
No, you're welcome. Always glad to have you here in Culture. As for myself, I dropped a video that premiered a little bit earlier today. Did an interview with Lauren Connor of That Park Place, talking about how the failure of Lucasfilm is now complete. So please do check out that interview I did with him. Talked about Star Wars in general, talked about EU novels, and talked about just why he is not watching the Ahsoka show. Definitely do not want to miss that interview. Later on tonight, I'm probably going to be playing some Disney Dreamlight Valley, the Disney stuff that I actually like. Apparently not game isn't produced by Disney, but gonna have fun doing all that stuff, doing some last minute things because Mulan is supposed to be, well, Mulan and Mushu are coming to the game next week, so need to get some Dreamlight to pay for bringing that new realm in. And of course, Saturday morning, going to be live from Diagon Alley over in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. So we're going to check that out. And hopefully, if I have time, take you guys over to the Epic Universe Preview Center so we can check out the big, huge model of the park and the swag that they're going to have there for sale. And of course, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, my 8K celebration. Going to hopefully have Culture, Marvin drop in along with a whole bunch of other folks. We're going to have a great time. Going to bring up some of my Star Trek swag for you guys to see. And we may actually play a round of Quiplash. We'll see. So, folks, thank you so much for being here. Make sure that you subscribe to Tooneytown TV. Make sure you are subscribed to Culture Casino and go check out the video that he just dropped today. Make sure you're subscribed to me, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.